Kate's Kitchen with Teens. I'm nutritionist and registered dietitian Jill Castle, and I am here with Baker and Blake, two teenagers who are going to help me make winter, winter chicken dinner with couscous. So we are going to be cooking some chicken on top of the stove and making a really delicious couscous side dish. So before we get going, what I want to do is I'm going to teach these guys how to butterfly chicken. Believe it or not, a lot of moms don't know how to butterfly chicken, so we're going to show you how to do that. And we're going to cook this chicken in a little bit of butter on top of the stove. So Baker, would you take that butter and just pop it into that pan? So here's a chicken breast. That's about a 6 or 7 ounce chicken breast, which is a good sized chicken breast. And I'm just going to cut right down the middle along the thickest side of the chicken, and I'm going to splay it open. I don't know if you can see that, but now we have a chicken breast that's a little bit thinner, and this will cook a lot faster, okay? So what we're going to do is use a little bit of seasoning, and we're going to season both sides of that piece of chicken. And anytime you're working with poultry, you want to make sure that your hands are clean before you start, and you always want to wash your hands afterwards. Okay, we're going to put this on our skillet, and you're going to hear it. Woo! So that's going to take about 7 to 10 minutes on each side, and that will actually cook through. So let's look over here and check on our chicken. Oh, smells great.
Oh, smells so good.
It does smell good.
What kind of seasoning is this again?
So this is a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder and a little bit of salt. So it's just really basic seasonings you'd have on your kitchen counter or in your pantry. Okay, our chicken is sizzling on the stove top behind me, cooking away. I'm going to flip some of the chicken. At the same time, we are going to roast some pine nuts for our couscous. So Blake, why don't you pop that in that small pan there? Baker, we're going to have you put this in the pot at the back of the stove. That is chicken broth, and we are going to boil our chicken broth and throw our couscous in and let that absorb all the good yummy juices. Now, while you're doing your pine nuts, I am going to turn this. Look at that yummy goodness.
Ooh, that looks really
Doesn't
good.
that look amazing? And we've got another one here. We're going to give just a couple more minutes, and our newest one is there. So we're going to cover up this chicken broth. When that starts to boil, we're going to add our couscous here. And couscous, you don't have to boil. Essentially, it's a whole grain, and it cooks so fast. All we have to do is boil either the water or the chicken broth. I like to use chicken broth because it gives it a lot of flavor. And we pour this into the boiling chicken broth, and we put the cover on it. We take it off the heat, and it just cooks in 5 minutes. We'll throw some ingredients in at the end to make it a little bit prettier and yummier and more nutritious, and then we'll dig in. Okay, our chicken is almost done. We are putting the couscous into the chicken broth. That has started to boil. Just give that a quick stir, and we turn off the heat, and we put the lid on. Awesome. You can see our pine nuts are all toasted. We can turn that heat off. Those are done. We'll give that just a couple more minutes. Shake that around a little bit. Now, these chicken breasts, if we didn't butterfly the chicken breasts, they'd be very thick, and they would probably require 20 to 30 minutes to cook. But because we butterflied them, we cut the cooking time by quite a bit. The nice thing about butterflying too, it's a 6 ounce portion, but if you want to keep your portion to a standard portion size, which is about 3 ounces, you just cut that chicken breast in half and you've got a 3 ounce portion size. So this dinner is really great because we have the protein in the chicken, we have the grain or the whole grain in the couscous. We actually have some fruit. We're going to add some cranberries to the couscous. We have some vegetables, just a little colorful kale that we're going to add, or you could do spinach or mixed greens, add to the couscous to give it a little coloring. And we've got this gorgeous chicken and these wonderful pine nuts that are full of healthy fats. So we're going to pull this chicken off the griddle here. Let's check our couscous. Our couscous is done. So if you guys want to add the cranberries and the greens, while I plate this chicken. And the pine nuts go in there too, Blake, if you want to add the pine nuts. Just be careful of that burner, please. And you can see this chicken is just absolutely gorgeous. And you want to stir that around and fluff that couscous up. Now, this is sauteed chicken. It's not really fried because we didn't deep fat fry it. We just fried it in a nice little bit of butter, which adds to the flavoring. Beautiful. We've got crunchy pine nuts. We've got some nice dried cranberries in here that are just going to fluff up. Beautiful. That looks like a pretty nice gourmet dinner, huh? And we cooked this chicken in less than 20 minutes. The couscous took us less than 5 minutes,
Yes,
right? A little toasting of those pine nuts really brings out the flavor. Let's dig in. Let's have a little bite of this. What do you think? Hot. Juicy.
Very good.
Let's try that.
Amazing.
Let's try the couscous. Give that a whirl.
That's really good.
Very good.
Wow. To me, this is a winner. What do you think? Winner, winner, chicken dinner with couscous. On Kate's
Definitely.
Kitchen with Teens.
So good.
To learn more about Kate's Kitchen, go to AdvantageForParents.com. To learn more about Southwestern Advantage, go to SouthwesternAdvantage.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jill Castle, registered dietitian and childhood nutrition expert, and I'm here in Kate's Kitchen with Teens, and my two guests today are Matthew and Hannah. They're the teens that are going to help me make better than the box macaroni and cheese. Who loves macaroni and cheese?
I know I do.
I don't know anybody who doesn't like macaroni and cheese. It's so good. But I call this better than the box because we can make it a lot healthier, a lot less expensive, and a lot tastier with some really simple ingredients. The first thing we're going to do is make a roux or a white sauce, and that's a pretty basic cooking skill to have because you can flavor it with anything. You can flavor it with cheese, you can flavor it with chocolate, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. So we're going to start with that first. We're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter in our pan. And once that gets melted, Hannah's going to put 2 tablespoons of flour in the pan, and she's going to mix that butter and that flour together and let it cook a little bit so we get that starchy, powdery taste out of it, and it actually tastes like it's cooked a little bit. Once that happens, we're going to slowly add some milk, and she's going to continue to whisk because we want to work in that flour and butter mixture together so that it becomes a sauce. We already have our macaroni. We pre-cooked this, but you just prepare your macaroni, elbow macaronis according to package directions. So pretty quick. We boiled a whole pound of macaroni in about 6 or 7 cups of water. We let that cook for about 10 minutes, constantly stirring it, soften it up, and there you have it. Our white sauce is really thickening up now. There's sort of this like point at which you've got a really thin sauce and then all of a sudden it starts going fast. So we are going to add our cheese, and you can add any kind of cheese you want. We have cheddar. Go ahead. We have cheddar. You can add American. You can add a little bit of Gruyere, Swiss, whatever cheese combinations you like. You can certainly add. The key is to get it in and let it get all melty. Let's pull it off the heat. We have added all our cheese. We've melted it down, and it doesn't take long. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to pour it all over this mac and cheese, macaroni, and make our mac and cheese. Matthew, I'll let you gently stir all that yummy cheese into the macaroni. Ugh, that looks unbelievable. Better than the box. No powder, no orange powder, just the real stuff. Now, we're going to serve this as a side dish just right out of this container, but you can pop it in a 9 by 13 inch pan and bake it off just to brown it and get a little crispy on the sides. I like that too, so either way. But go ahead and serve yourself some and see how that tastes. All right. I don't know, it looks better than the box. Let's see if it tastes better than the box.
That is very good.
Oh, the cheese sauce is so good.
Yeah, can you believe how quick it was to make that? Hannah, you made the cheese sauce all yourself, pretty much.
It was easy.
To learn more about Kate's Kitchen, go to advantageforparents.com. To learn more about Southwestern Advantage, go to southwesternadvantage.com.
Welcome to Kate's Kitchen with Teens. I'm Jill Castle, and I am here today with Avery and Cole, who are both athletes, and they are helping me make a 10-minute tomato artichoke spinach toss. This is sort of a quick pasta meal that you can make when you're looking for something interesting and different and really hoping to get your nutrients jacked up in your diet. Super simple, super fast. One of the things I'm going to show you how to do, though, is quartering an artichoke, and then I'm going to put you in charge, Cole. These are canned artichokes. We drained them. So this is the heart of the artichoke. So if you ever buy an artichoke in the grocery store, it's actually a big green plant, and you pull the leaves off, and in the center is the heart. This is sort of the best part of it. To quarter it, you're first going to cut the artichoke in half like that, and then I just flip them over so we have a steady, stable surface, and we cut it again. That's quartering an artichoke. Okay? So I'm going to have you quarter those artichokes while Avery, you and I are going to saute the garlic.
Okay.
Okay? So we're going to move over here to the stove. Want you to add the olive oil to a pan. You can place it on that burner. And we're going to turn the heat on to to medium, sorry. And we're going to get the garlic sauteed rather quickly. You never want to cook garlic for very long. It can burn and it doesn't taste good, quite frankly. So we only want to saute garlic for about a minute. And we're going to saute the garlic with a little bit of red pepper flakes to add some spice to this. And I put the pepper flakes in the pot, and we'll use about half of this or all of this, depending on how spicy you want it.
Okay.
But if you put it in the oil, it really releases the spice, the heat of this spice. So we're going to put this here, and you're just going to saute that around a little bit.
All right.
Let's use a little spoon that you can mix that with, and you really want to move that garlic once it starts to heat up. You want to move it quickly. Okay, that looks like those are nice and ready. We're going to add the tomatoes now. Let's see. So, because we don't want that garlic, once you start to smell the garlic, you know it's really moving along in terms of cooking. We've already cooked our pasta. We started our pasta first. We're making linguine. And what we will do is, once we've made our sauce, we'll drain our pasta and we'll throw it in with all these sauce ingredients, and we'll mix everything together. It'll be quite delicious. Okay, so once that starts to bubble, we're going to add the artichokes and really heat it up. Okay, you want to go ahead and add those? Yes, go ahead and add them, and then you can stir them in. Okay, Cole, you want to mix those in? Perfect. Great, and we just want that to really heat up and get bubbly and get all those flavors mixed together. Okay, let's just let that sit there for a second.
Put it all in?
Sure. We're just going to cook the spinach enough so it kind of wilts. Perfect. So you can see we're not really cooking this. We're going to turn the heat off of this. So that's done. And what we're going to do next is we're going to take this pasta and we're going to drain it. Drain this. And then what we're going to do, this is going to be a really full pot. If you have those tongs, those kitchen tongs, what we'll do is we'll use those to stir this up. We put the pasta on top and we're just tossing it. You see how I'm doing that? If any of you want to do that, so you get all the pasta mixed with the sauce. Okay, now I'm going to use my muscles to pull this over. This is really heavy. This is a heavy pot. It is full of does that look absolutely awesome? It smells delicious. We have tomatoes, we have artichokes, we have linguine, and we have just tossed it all together We're putting it in a large bowl. We have Parmesan. You can add the Parmesan into this dish as you're cooking, or you can top it with Parmesan. Not everybody likes Parmesan, so I have it here on the side. But you'll see, we are just yummy, yummy, yummy. And this will feed a bunch of teens, if not your whole family, and everybody will think you are quite the master chef when you present that.
To learn more about Kate's Kitchen, go to advantageforparents.com. To learn more about Southwestern Advantage, go to southwesternadvantage.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to Kate's Kitchen with Teens. I'm Kate Wright, and I have two special guests with me today. We've got Avery over here and Cole, two local athletes helping me make a super healthy snack. So guys, what does the average teenager grab for a snack these days?
I'd say whatever I first see, probably just a bag of chips, something like that.
Okay, like a bag of chips. What about
Yeah,
you?
a bag of chips. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing today, we're making homemade fresh tortilla chips, homemade guacamole, and homemade salsa. This is so delicious. I made this a few weeks ago for my family, and my little kids were just like scooping it up by the handfuls. And the great thing about this snack is that you make it once and you can use parts of it throughout the week. Are y'all ready to get started?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna make the homemade tortilla chips first. And what you do is you have a little bit of vegetable oil here, and you've got corn tortillas here. And you could actually use as many of these as you want. If you're having a big party, you could double or quadruple, the quantities here. But all you're gonna do is just dip your spatula into the oil, and you just kind of want to paint each side. Make sure there's a good amount of oil on each side, like this, and then flip it over. This is fun if you have younger siblings. I had my 5-year-old doing this the other day. It is so easy. So just paint each side and then set each tortilla on your cutting board, because in a minute we're gonna cut these into chip size bites. So each of you guys, I'm gonna step out of the way here. I'll let you, Cole and Avery, take center stage, and y'all can just go ahead and get working on your tortillas. And award-winning nutritionist Jill Castle is the one who put together these recipes for us. And what Jill has told me is the most important thing about this snack is that there's tons of vitamin C in the tomatoes, healthy fats in the avocados, and then there's onions, there's cilantro. This is just packed full of veggies. So what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna wanna cut this kind of like a pizza into 6 squares. So you'll cut it once down the middle, and then once like this, and then once like that. Does that make sense? Okay. So just place each of your little tortilla pieces, just spread them out one by one on the parchment paper. You might want to, it usually takes up a lot of space, so you'll want to spread them out. There you go. All right, so now we're going to salt the chips. This is a little salt shaker here. So Avery, if you want to start with yours, and just kind of cover it until, yeah, just keep going. There you go. Good. So this is actually going to bake for anywhere from like 10 to 12 minutes. Basically, all you're going to do is take all these ingredients, just throw them in your dish, mix it up, and you're done. It is so easy. What we have here to make the salsa is we have 6 Roma tomatoes, a bunch of onions, some kosher salt, some cilantro. You can also add jalapenos if you want it hot and spicy, and then some lime. And over here we have avocados, tomato, lime, salt, and onions as well. So what I'm going to have you guys do is, Cole, you can go ahead and dice up the last tomato here. How's your tomato going over there?
Going pretty good.
Good. And once you're done with anything, just dump it in the bowl. So just kind of mush that up. And then all you need to do is kind of use some muscle and squeeze these limes as hard as you can to get out all the lime juice. And now, Cole, all you need to do here is just take all these ingredients, including the peppers, and just toss it in the bowl. Yep, and then toss in your, let's see, your onion and your salt.
we're gonna cut up these tomatoes just like Cole did. You can just cut out the little ends there. Everything else can go in. Yes, add that too. Add all the cilantro. That smells good. All right, so Cole, yours is, so all you wanna do is get your spoon and just kind of mix it all together. So you've got a salsa.
Like, makes it like.
Yeah, just blend it all together. These are looking pretty good. So you just slide these onto the platter. All right, you guys ready to sample what you just made?
Yes.
All right, grab a chip, dig in. You want to try the salsa? Chips are still a little hot.
Very crunchy.
Dig in. That was so good.
To learn more about Kate's Kitchen, go to AdvantageForParents.com. To learn more about Southwestern Advantage, go to SouthwesternAdvantage.com.
Hi everyone, I'm registered dietitian and childhood nutrition expert Jill Castle, and I am here today with Emily and Ethan, and we are making Go Greek pita pockets with hummus. So our first task is to make some hummus, and then we're going to toss a Greek salad, and we're going to put it all together in a pita pocket. And the reason why we're doing this is because it's a really healthy option to take to school for lunch. Okay, well the nice thing about making homemade hummus is that it makes quite a bit, and it can last. It can be rolled up in a roll-up sandwich, it can be in a pita pocket, you can use it as a veggie dip. Hummus is very rich in protein because we use garbanzo beans, or also called chickpeas, and that's the basis of hummus. Would you like to try one? Sure. All by yourself? They're delicious. The other thing you can do with these is roast them. We're not going to do that today, but they're an awesome snack when you roast them. But let's make the hummus, shall we? Emily's going to be in charge of hummus. So what we're going to do, Emily, is we're going to use our food processor. So I want you to dump in that those chickpeas. This is tahini, and this is a sesame seed paste. We're going to dump that in too, and I want to give you a little spatula so we can scrape out all that yumminess out of the bowl into there. We're going to use half of a garlic clove, which I'll go ahead and press for her. Got that in there? Awesome. Half of a garlic clove. I mean, you really can, it depends on how much garlic you like in your hummus, but you can certainly add more, or you can leave the garlic out if it's too garlicky. We're going to use our olive oil in there. And our lemon juice. And we'll go ahead and add our salt and our cumin, and we'll whip it up. Good job. Let's put that on there. And do that, and then you can turn it on, and I always hold the top. Now, you can always buy hummus at the grocery store, but I'll tell you what, a can of garbanzo beans is about $1.39. Sometimes you can get them on sale for 99 cents. A little bit of tahini and garlic and lemon juice. We are making something that is under $2 and is going to last us all week long. Let's move on to making our salad. Ethan, we need you to chop up that cucumber, and we're going to make a little homemade salad dressing, which is super simple. There we go. Emily, you can come around the side if you want and just add in the lettuce into the salad bowl. So we have lettuce, we have tomatoes, we have some Kalamata olives, which is a hallmark of a Greek salad. We have some feta cheese. which you can add the tomato, you can dump all of those things in, everything except for the dressing ingredients. And we might want to just, cut those a little bit smaller. Perfect. We'll take a little bit of those cucumbers and just toss them into that bowl with her stuff. That's perfect. We don't need to cut all of those up. Put the rest of those in there. Okay, and then Ethan will have you whisk the olive oil and the lemon juice together so that we build a nice little salad dressing. There you go, and you just whisk that together and make sure that oil and that lemon juice get mixed in nicely together. Let's take a little bit of salad dressing and coat this salad, and then we're going to toss that with some tongs so we get it all nice and covered up. Go ahead, Emily, you can toss that. Oh, that looks delicious already. There's something about a red tomato that lures me in every time. Let's cut these pockets in half. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill these up with a little bit of hummus and some salad. I'll get you a knife and we're going to paint that hummus on the inside. Now, this is an awesome sandwich for the lunchbox or for an after-school snack or for dinner or lunch at home on the weekends. You have hummus, which is really rich in fiber and protein and healthy fats because we use tahini and olive oil in there. We have greens, we have vegetables, we have feta cheese, Kalamata olives, which are also a healthy fat. So, and inside a whole grain pita. This is a nutrient-packed sandwich, so good for your heart because we know the Mediterranean diet is really good for your heart, but it's also just so great for something different and fresh and healthy. And there's something to be said about eating something fresh and different and healthy that just makes you feel fresh and healthy, doesn't it? And we know that the way you look on the outside is totally about what you put on the inside. So this is a great sandwich to help you just glow with color and health and vitality. So go ahead and have a bite.
It's very good.
To learn more about Kate's Kitchen, go to AdvantageForParents.com. To learn more about Southwestern Advantage, go to SouthwesternAdvantage.com. AdvantageForParents.com is the only parenting website in the world with hundreds of articles written by doctors and professionals, as well as video interviews with parenting experts, role-playing and educational videos, and our very own groundbreaking cooking show, Kate's Kitchen with Kids. Kate's Kitchen has over 100 recipes teaching kids and teenagers how to be confident in the kitchen. Our team of experts include money expert and best-selling author Dave Ramsey and his daughter Rachel Cruz, author and parenting coach Kate Wright, New York Times best-selling author Rory Vaden, child psychologist Dr. Patricia Nan Anderson, award-winning pediatric nutritionist Jill Castle, licensed clinical social worker and parenting coach Katie Malinsky, and the former nutritionist for NBC's hit TV show The Biggest Loser, Cheryl Forberg. Advantage for Parents addresses important parenting topics, from toddlers to teenagers, and even has coaching on life topics such as money management, diet and health, career development, and marriage, just for you. Think you already have all the answers to parenting? Well, take our unique parenting quizzes and find out. Advantage for Parents. Real help for the most important job in the world. To learn more about Southwestern Advantage, go to SouthwesternAdvantage.com.